Hello, my name is Diane Walsh, and I'm on the clinical faculty in the speech pathology and audiology major at UT Dallas. So I wanted to take a little bit of time and tell you about what that undergraduate degree is in preparation for and some other career opportunities. We think about the SPAU major as preparation for speech language pathologists and audiologists as they go on to further education in graduate or clinical or research careers. So some aspects to think about for communication, how we successfully communicate with other people, can include things like language, putting the right words together in the right sequence, speech, how clearly that message is getting across, and even some other ways of communicating with gestures, with assistive devices like computers, or with sign. Also cognition, things like memory, attention, hearing, and definitely the influence of culture. So let's talk a little bit about two fields that are represented in the SPAU major. A speech language pathologist. So a speech language pathologist does evaluation, diagnostic work, and puts together intervention plans for speech, language, and cognitive disorders. A speech language pathologists work across the lifespan from pediatrics, geriatrics. Here are some examples of clinical situations where speech language pathologists can work with children. A toddler who's not yet using their words to communicate or responding to things in their environment. A preschooler with cerebral palsy who needs an alternative way to communicate with a loved one. A school-age child with difficulty articulating certain sounds. Or a middle schooler with autism who has trouble socially connecting with others. Some examples on the adult side. An adult who suffered a stroke and has difficulty producing speech sounds or getting the right word out. An adult who stutters and has some difficulty with things at work. An adult who suffered a traumatic brain injury from a car accident and has some trouble reintegrating with daily routine. An adult with swallowing problems as a result of Parkinson's disease. So switching gears, the other background for the SPAU degree is for that of an audiologist. So an audiologist evaluates, diagnoses, and treats hearing and balance disorders, once again serving across the lifespan. They might work with someone like an infant who was identified to have a severe hearing loss at a newborn screening. An adult with balance problems or ringing in the ears after a head trauma. An adult with some trouble hearing phone and they need some amplification. Or an elementary school teacher who wears a microphone so it amplifies her speech for a student with a cochlear implant. So across both of these fields in communication disorders, there's a wide possibility of clinical settings for speech pathologists and audiologists. You can see them listed here, anywhere from an academic setting to research settings, to government offices, to rehabilitation centers, to skilled nursing, and anywhere in between. To mention the education aspects, within the degree, the undergraduate program at UT Dallas, our coursework focuses in psychology, communication disorders like an introduction to the fields, normal language development, communication sciences like speech and hearing science, phonetics, articulation disorders, intro to audiology, anatomy and physiology, focusing from the chest up, basis of communication or behavioral neuroscience, language disorders in children, multicultural aspects, and an opportunity for clinical observation of those working in the field, and a possibility of doing a clinical rotation as an undergraduate student right now. Entering into the profession of speech language pathology requires a master's degree, and for audiology, at least a clinical doctorate. There's also potential to go on to a PhD in both areas to serve as either university faculty, get involved in industry, in government roles, and work in healthcare or education administration. So certainly the SPAU undergraduate can also be a foundation for many other careers. And just to brainstorm some of them, here are some ideas to possibly work as an assistant speech-language pathologist. That's possible here in the state of Texas with an undergraduate degree. So lots of different fields where you're working with children, with adults, just with people from a variety of different backgrounds. So if your interest has been sparked, please look ahead to the UT Dallas SPAU degree, but also for some other information, the American Speech Language Hearing Association and the Texas Speech Language Hearing Association will offer a lot of wonderful background about these two careers. We hope to see you at UTD in the future. Thanks. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed the guest lecture video from our esteemed UT Dallas faculty. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Maxwell, Assistant Provost in the Office of Community College Relations and a faculty member in Public and Nonprofit Management. I would like to briefly share information about UT Dallas. UTD is just shy of 30,000 students, yet we pride ourselves on providing opportunities for all our students to connect with faculty, as you might find at much smaller institutions. In fact, almost 80% of our undergraduate classes have fewer than 50 students. UTD also offers scholarships for transfer students. We encourage you to learn more through our virtual and in-person campus tours, Scholars Day, and Preview Fridays. Students who may be considering UT Dallas can also schedule a pre-admissions counseling appointment, and we hope you explore our guaranteed tuition plan, the Comic Connection. We look forward to seeing you at the University of Texas at Dallas.